Okay, I'm back. Okay, Light, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, what tournament is this? The Demi AU Weekly.
That's what I said. I apologize. It is called the Demi Australian Open. I'll just link you the bracket. Hold on. I'll link you the bracket.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. But didn't the Demi C Weekly was a thing already? Am I just dreaming?
It was a thing, and it has been replaced.
So what's the difference now? Now it accepts players from Australia and New Zealand.
So it already did accept players from Australia and New Zealand, if I recall, as I quickly just try to update this. But there are some differences. Now there are server preference differences. Before it was if an Oceanic player went up against a Southeast Asian player, it was SG, AU, SG. And now it's AU, it's like Australian preference server instead. And if I recall, as I quickly... Oh, no, that's not right. In-game Demi. There we go. If I recall, this also includes like Pakistan, right? Like those DreamHack countries, the DreamHack rest of Asia countries.
Didn't it always include Pakistan, but
No.
you had to reside in Pakistan to play?
No. That wasn't the case.
I thought that you could, but you had to literally reside in.
From my understanding, it wasn't. Yeah. So they just changed some things like that.
Are you telling me that Demi basically just changed the name and that's it? It's the same team but with a different name.
Pretty much. Branding.
So welcome everyone to map number 1 in a best of 3, I imagine. Between these two beautiful Eastern Ducks, and spawning here, the Australian set player, the duck himself, this Oreo.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the Duck of the Stars. He is our only Protoss player. He's red, representing the Cranky Ducklings. It is StarDuck. Oh, and I don't think you've been able to cast Oreo and StarDuck before.
I don't think I have been able to cast like ANC players at all.
Yeah.
Like, ever since we started casting, I have only been able to cast Latin America, and I think I did one day of NA as well. That's it. So, I mean, look. I love my Southeast Asia and Oceania players. You know, they're like brothers to me because you know Latin America and your region are very similar. You know, they're small, they're like pretty insular. But they have a lot of like hidden talent, in my opinion. And we see here two good examples of these two players with StarDuck and Oreo. I believe I saw a video by NXZ a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
That Oreo is like the next big thing, according to him.
I mean, we already knew that, honestly. Like, we've known that for years. But it's great that NXZ is also like a fan of Oreo. NXZ, like, and Oreo, they actually like practice together. They live in the same region. So they actually meet up relatively often. So it's cool that NXZ actually went out of his way to like showcase the up and coming players. And that's exactly what Oreo and StarDuck are. You know, like StarDuck, he's 18, Oreo, he's 20. Like, they are very young, very new to the competitive scene in the Oceanic region. And Oreo, I would say 100%, he's already the best Zerg player in the region. Like, he straight up is. He has so much potential.
The best player in the region. That is big word size. Especially coming for a player that didn't even make the playoffs of ANZ.
I would say he's the best Zerg player of ANZ. Not including Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia is different, right? Like, there are a lot more Zerg players there.
Ender and Demi and Miomaika.
Ender, Demi, Miomaika. Yeah. very strong Zerg players. When it comes to StarDuck, he's also a very strong player as well, but he still is working his way up. He can take games and series off of players like Joey and Oreo and Pez, but not consistently, right? Like he's still working on it. So we'll see how this series goes between the two of them. Again, it's a little bit unfortunate. More duck on duck, like murdering on screen right now. But I'm curious to see how this works out because, again, Oreo does have a very strong winning record against StarDuck, but StarDuck, he's been getting better.
Do you want a fun fact about me?
Go for it.
I don't like Oreos.
Oh, do you like ducks?
Dogs are okay. When I was small, for a time, we had dog pets.
Oh.
Pet dogs.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Unfortunately, then they grew too big, and we had to we gave it to the local zoo. And that's the last thing I heard from them. This is like, man, I'm talking like 20 years ago. So.
Fair enough. Okay, well, when it comes to this game though, like Oreo did open up with a pull first. He just checked his opponent to make sure StarDuck wasn't being cheesy. Cheesy is known for doing cannon rushes, so it makes sense. And Oreo, he's pulling a Paco Mike right now, going for that double Stargate straight into +1 fires.
Yeah, he's doing the Paco Mike. The question is he going for the fast freeze beacon or is he going to start a massive void race?
Unfortunately, I don't think he's not quite Paco Mike, right? He's not gonna go for the fast carriers. Unfortunately.
I mean, no. If you were Paco Mike, I will expect the fast Tempest.
True. The famous 2-base Tempest into lose. It's great. It's a great build. Oh god. but we do have more Void Rays on the way against StarDuck. He's trying to cut a lot of corners and go straight into Sky Toss. Meanwhile, Oreo, he has a decent amount of queens to defend, but where are the roaches? Like typically by now, I mean, he's getting ready for it, I guess, going for a queen roach push. No, something else.
No, he's going for a fast infestation pit. 0 roaches in the map so far. At the moment, basically he only has queens to defend. Yeah, with that fast infestation pit, Light, what are you thinking? Are you thinking fast hive?
It has to be fast hive, right? It would be crazy if he goes Swarm Host right now, especially because we have this big commitment into Sky Toss. There we go. We have Roach Speed on the way. This should be for hive. This should be for Vipers, right? Right.
I mean, it should.
No, there we go.
No, mate, what?
Okay.
What the hell is mate? Australia is crazy. Okay, people have always told me that Australia was crazy, but now I believe it, mate. Who the hell does Swanhos versus Void Rays?
If you remember, Ryu did this a couple of weeks ago and he lost. But
yes, I mean.
Here we go. The queens are coming in to be. There are enough queens to push away these Void Rays. There should be. Show me the transfuse. There we go. Oreo does push these away. Swarm Hosts are on the way as well, and with Swarm Hosts, you can start sieging away at this stack defense.
Yeah, man, but with the amount of Void Rays that there is, I mean, it's only 3 Swarm Hosts. It's not like he made like big numbers of them.
True.
So look, the Void Rays easily snipe the little Ducklings. So I don't know, mate. I don't like it. I like the queen push. The queen push is very strong. So this could work.
Yeah, and the biles are really good as well. Both of the cannons have been picked off, but overcharge is being used. None of these Void Rays are dying, but the transfuses are good as well. But it looks like that was the final transfuse for these queens.
Yeah, no more transfuses, but there are also no more cannons in range and no more shield battery. So this is just a straight head-on fight of Queen versus Void Rays, and there are more Void Rays than Queen mates.
Yeah. Queen versus Void Ray, when there are no transfuses, does go the way of the Void Ray, and StarDuck defends his third base.
Yeah, that was a really weird push. I mean, if those Swanhos were more Roaches or more Queens, maybe I would have, believed you. But, hey, what are you doing making 3 Swanhos? I'm pretty sure that after this game, you and Oreo are going to have a strong conversation, you know?
Right? It's so weird just because it was only 3 swarm hosts, right? Like that's what was so odd about it.
Did he misclick when he built them or something? Like
maybe I honestly I think it was uncertainty. I think he was thinking about committing more and then he thought better of it. He's like, oh, maybe I should go Roach Ravager instead, and he was kind of caught between 2 places.
You know, I think he was thinking like oh, the boss is casting me, I need to show off.
Maybe. I mean, they had some time to prepare, to be honest. Meanwhile, Roaches do force a cancel on a bunch of the stack defense, but StarDuck will get this 4th base up. And this is terrifying. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. A Protoss going Skytoss on 4 bases? Man, that's GG.
GG. What are we doing here? I mean, to be fair, Oreo has a lot more supply at the moment. He is basically now maxed out, and he's walking out with his queens, with a lot of roaches, a lot of ravagers, and a lot of now Hydralis, which are about to have the range at the extra range. But mate, suddenly DTs.
Mate, suddenly DTs,
and there is nothing here to detect.
Mate.
A lot of the army is going down, like everything is going down.
Oh my god, this is disastrous for Oreo. What, like 5 Ravagers and 5 Hydras just died immediately, and now the Queens are going down. These DTs are doing so much damage.
Oh my god, 9 DTs are being transpositioned now, like 9 DTs.
Aye, there they are. The DTs do get warped in. DTs are going across the map. There's still no spores, by the way. Oreo, he warped in 3 Overseers, but none of them defensively.
Yeah, 9 worker skill, and now I think he can focus the hatchery.
Oh god.
Focus the hatchery. No, okay, he recalls. He recalls instead.
Understandable. He wants to keep them alive. He wants to morph them into Archons. There we go. Archons are being morphed in. And this is what's scary, right? Oreo, he was looking to hit a timing, as we saw when he was maxed out. And honestly, he probably could have won the game there. But the DTs changed everything. Now he's maxed out again. Sure, he can try and hit this army, but all the stack defense is finishing up. Now we have Archons as well as Void Rays.
Yeah, Archons, Void Rays, shield batteries, cannons. This is going to be very hard to break.
Yeah, exactly. And here we go. StarDuck, he just pushes on forward.
You need to be careful to dodge the biles, but these are the last Ravagers.
Yeah,
there's even charged zealots here, and yeah, Oreo's army is just going to melt under this much DPS.
Exactly, that it is, as everything is going down. The Archons, there's nothing to stop them as they're just pushing on forward, and Oreo's army is just evaporating. At the same time, he was also losing workers. Oh my god.
And that's it, mate. From basically being maxed out to 125 supply. Oreo lost everything in his army, and now it is everything is in StarDuck field.
Yeah.
What we StarDuck do now?
I would have expected a fleet beacon. He's crazy. He doesn't go. He throws down a Robo, throws down a Templar Archives, and a Robotics Bay. It looks like he wants to switch into Disruptors, which I guess would work well against this. But I would have liked, carriers, right? Like, regardless, because there's no Spire, like, this anti-air isn't ideal. Oh, the Storm Host, no! That's okay.
DT is roaming free. Is there a spore here? Yeah, there is a spore, but there's no army here, and they're going directly for the spore.
Oh my god, the drones are pulled, but the spore goes down. DTs are doing so much damage here. Eventually it will be cleaned up, but this frees up some room for StarDuck to push on forward and clear up all this creep.
Yeah, a lot of Void Rays, a lot of Zealots, a lot of Archons. That's quite a lot, and now the Disruptors are also on the way.
Exactly, and Disruptor's going to do so well against this ground-based composition. Again, I'm so surprised that Oreo isn't switching into Skytoss, what? Into Spire. Because there it is. Finally, I was waiting for it. Fleet Beacon and another Stargate. Oh boy.
Breathe, light, breathe. It's okay. This tournament is a double elimination, right?
It's true. It's true. It is a double elimination bracket. You know, it's a best of 3. So these players, they have another chance here in that lower brackets. But Oreo, he's in a really rough place. Hydras, they're okay against Skytoss to hit certain timing attacks, but if we get into a longer game, like, they get outscaled. Like, they're just not that great against what StarDuck has. To be fair, lurkers are on the way, but they're not done yet.
Yeah, they're not done yet, and StarDuck is now moving out. There is a rush run by on the third base of StarDuck, but it got caught in a stasis ward. But that's going to buy a lot of time, and the queens are alone.
Oh my god, the sharp shots go off. 4 or 5 queens immediately go down, but there we go. StarDuck gets pushed away, and Oreo is making his lurkers.
But the lurkers are not done, and the army is going to engage.
Oh my god.
Where's the disruptor? I need a good disruptor shot against these lurkers.
They do, but they're not ready yet. There we go, the sharp shots go off.
The lurkers die, and GG, and StarDuck takes game number 1.
GG.
Mate, is this the kind of players that you sign up?
Oh yeah. It's beautiful, mate. It's beautiful. None of this like 15-20 minute ZvP with Skytoss. I mean, StarDuck, he wanted to get to those carriers, but didn't get there in the end. Instead, pushed on forward with his disruptors and was able to hit before the lurkers are ready.
And yeah, we with the end of that game, Light, I bid farewell now.
Thank you, Darking, for joining me for game number 1. I appreciate it.
Yes, it was fun. It was a, shall we say, entertaining lesson.
Oh god. Thank you so much. As I'm getting ready for game number 2.
So yeah, thank you Light VIP, thank you chat for having me. Please follow me on all my social media that Light is probably going to put in the chat right now. Yeah, see you tomorrow for Battle of the Americas.
Yeah, thank you so much, Darking, for joining me today. I appreciate it. If you want to check out more of Darking, he does stream on his own Twitch channel, Darking665, on Twitter as well. He will be live throughout the week with some StarCraft, with some other solo gameplay as well, some single player games, and he's great. He's a great guy. He also runs a lot of events for StarCraft, a lot of Latin American events. The Latin American scene wouldn't be a thing without Darking. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, and goodbye.
And with that, Darking does leave me for now, but we are not done here on this stream. Oh boy, going for non-stop 8 hours of casting. Let's go! Yaku, wake up! Everyone, we need Yaku to wake up. He's still asleep. Zaku is meant to join me for this cast, but he's not ready yet. As we are getting into game. What were the vetoes? Darking, where are you? You should have been here for this. Somehow, some way, we are on Beckett Industries, and spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Australian Zerg player. He is blue, representing the Cranky Ducklings. It is Oreo. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Beckett Industries ALE, we have the Australian Protoss. He is red, representing the Cranky Ducklings, as well as this is a team kill. It is StarDuck. And how the hell did we end up on this map? Oh my god. I will have to remind myself after this game, to set up the logos mod at the moment. For those who are familiar with our channel, usually we have flags here representing what country they are from, as well as the tournament logo in the middle of the map. I do have to set that up for Demi's tournaments. I also, for next week, we will change the graphic. At the moment, it says Demi C Weekly. It is the Demi Australian Open. So a brand new tournament here for the Oceanic and Southeast Asian scene. It is kind of Demi Weekly, just rebranded in a way, you know, just a new coat of paint on it, some slight rule changes, but no big change other than the time slot. It is much more earlier on a Saturday or later on a Friday if you're in North America. So yeah, just changing things up here, Demi is. And we'll see where we end up, as we are still in our very first series. And we're on Beckett Industries, so what does that mean for our players? Obviously, the map is a lot smaller, so you can be a little bit more aggressive with your pushes as a Zerg player. But at the same time, as a Protoss, you can also defend quite well at this third base. Like, there's this very small choke point. It takes 2 buildings to wall off, sometimes 1, depending on where you are, so, or depending on what you use. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. I just haven't casted too many ZvPs on this map specifically. They've lost their mind. Oh. As we are getting on in here, StarDuck going for a bit of a scout, a bit of a cheeky move. Can this Adept shoot that? No, it cannot. Slips in with his Adept, but the Adept will be dealt with. It will get cleaned up by Oreo. Nicely done. Oh, no, never mind. Adept does trade a little bit better and is looking to escape, but there's a Queen looking to intercept. Is it going to be enough DPS? It is not. The Adept does escape, and StarDuck did open up with a Stargate. Makes sense, as he did start with a Void Ray, no Oracle first or anything like that, and he's looking to expand and take his third base. I was expecting more aggression from Oreo, and to be fair, maybe I shouldn't be expecting it yet. Roachborn is still on the way, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for a more dedicated Roach Queen push. None of this Swarm Host nonsense. If you're watching game number 1, he went for an Infestation Pit and he went for 3 Swarm Hosts, question mark? I don't know if that, it feels like that wasn't intentional. It was a lot of investment into that Infestation Pit and Swarm Hosts, and he didn't get much return there in the end. So I don't really know how I feel about that move, to be honest. And that creep is being spread nicely here for Oreo. He did not continue Queen production, but he has 4 for now, which is enough. Meanwhile, StarDuck, I mean, he's investing in his Skytels. This is exactly what we saw in the previous game, which is why I'm worried for StarDuck, because I don't know if this really translates well, honestly. I don't know if this translates well on this map specifically. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. We have a second Stargate on the way, more Void Rays to defend that third. But again, like, this push is just going to hit so much harder. There we go. Void Ray already taking a bit of damage, almost losing its shields. Oreo getting ready for an attack. He was looking to push on the right-hand side, but because the Void Ray was moved over here, he actually keeps it hidden and pushes through the center. At the same time, Oracle dives in, but there's a Spore here, so gets some drone kills, but honestly, not that significant. And now here comes Oreo to hit the third base. What I'm surprised about when it comes to this push is honestly only 4 Queens. Not that much anti-air, but it doesn't matter because there's only 1 Void Ray, so we don't need that much anti-air. And here we go, third base gets evacuated. Oreo, he's going for the kill. He wants to push into the main base. The wall is not a wall. The Lings flood into the natural. And is this going to be it? The Void Rays are coming in, but they've got a lot of work to do. The Biles bile down the pylon as well as the shield battery. Everything is going down here. We have Zerg in the natural and in the main base. 0 mining right now for StarDuck. At the same time, the third is under threat. Everything is flashing red for StarDuck, and it looks like StarDuck, mate, there's just not enough here. He has 2 Void Rays, and that is all he has. And there's just too much Zerg. The third will go down. The main, the Stargates, they get depowered. Oh my god. Not before 1 Void Ray came out. So now we have 3, but it's not enough. GG gets called, and Oreo ties up the series 1-1. A very fast push coming out there. StarDuck, I'm sure he was expecting a later push, but we're on Beckett. Like, that's the crazy thing. That's like, I'm like, really? You let this through the vetoes? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And with that, we are tied up. We are going to the ace match. Oh god, and here we go. Meanwhile, thank you, by the way, everyone who has stayed up from Sentimiento Latino into the Demi Australian Open. I do really appreciate it. I do really appreciate it. I know it's getting very late in North America and in South America, so I completely understand if you do have to go to bed. But as one region goes to bed, the other region wakes up. Europe and Southeast Asia, we're on our way. Ooh, and it's a pretty interesting bracket, not going to lie. We have all the usual players who we would expect. The only standout is Chappie has signed up today, which is pretty interesting. We haven't seen Chappie play in a long time in these weekly tournaments, and I think that's about it. Everyone else is like, yeah, it's who we would expect during one of these SEA weeklies. But here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Blackburn ALE. We have the Cranky Duckling himself. He is the blue Zerg player. It is Oreo. Fighting back, tying up the series. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackburn ALE, we have the Australian Protoss. He is red, also representing the Cranky Ducklings, as we do have a team kill. It is StarDuck. What the hell was vetoed? So I have to try and piece this together. Oreo would have vetoed Romanticide, and I would say Jagannatha. That would make sense. StarDuck, I guess, vetoed Lightshade, which would make sense. And typically the second veto would be Beckett for Protoss, but he let Beckett through. Instead, he vetoed, I guess, 2000 Atmospheres, because we were on Oxide. So yeah. Odd choice. I mean, I think Queen pushes can be very strong on 2000 Atmospheres. I guess maybe that was the thought process for StarDuck. But I feel like on Blackburn, just like Beckett Industries, like look at this. It's like 1-2 screens from this third base of Oreo. Like just barely 2 screens. Like that's not a lot that the Queens have to maneuver. Like I don't know, man. I don't know what the thought process is for StarDuck. It's crazy. Aye. Meanwhile, for sure is in the chat. So you appreciate me lights? Only if you stay up. But you should go to bed. You should go to bed. Oh god. Meanwhile, here we go. Oreo, he was forced to expand at the unnatural natural, which makes sense, you know, StarDuck being a little bit annoying here. And I'm curious to see if StarDuck is going to go for the same opening. Is he going to go Stargate into Void Rays again? Because personally, I would like him to switch things up here in the ace match, but here we go. It is that Stargate once again. Oh boy. So this is going to be interesting, to say the least. So we've seen this from StarDuck in Game 1 and Game 2, right? He's going to be going Stargate, he's going to get +1 on his cybernetic score, he's going to go Void Rays, and try and defend. But on a map like this, where creep spread should be starting for Oreo, oh boy, I expect to see another Queen push. It's what ZvP has come to, especially against Skytoss, right? Just Queen push all day, every day. And I don't know if StarDuck will be able to defend. In game number 1, he did defend, but Oreo's Queen push was relatively late, right? He had a goddamn infestation pit, for Christ's sakes, by the time he pushed out across the map. This one should be hitting a lot faster. There we go. Queen production is not stopping. We still don't have a Roach Horn, so I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, right? We still need the Roach Horn to be thrown down. We still need things to kind of get underway here, but I feel like that's where things are leading to, especially with this creep threat, right? He's already halfway across the map with it. Like that's how short the rush distance is. That's crazy. Oh boy. Void Ray does pop out, not in time to deny this Creep Tumor, as the Creep Tumor is able to move on from here. We have an Oracle on the way. I'm very curious to see what the Oracle is going to be used for. Personally, I kind of like the idea of the Oracle using Revelation for the Void Ray to clean up this creep. Like, that feels like a big brain move, not gonna lie. But we'll see how big StarDuck's brain is, as we do have all these Lings rushing around the map looking to hit this third base. What is there to defend the third? Not much, to be honest, so this third could be denied. There we go, immediately we have a Warping of Adepts. StarDuck on point with his reaction. And here comes the Oracle. As it isn't clearing up creep, it is immediately going across the map. Into the main, where there awaits 2 queens. Oh, instead goes towards the natural base. And we have a Baneling Nest? Oh my god. A Baneling Nest in Evo Chamber. No Roach Warren. So he is still like making plenty of queens and still like pushing that creep forward. That's all he cares about. He just cares about pushing the creep forward towards his opponents. But we have Ling Bane instead of Roach Ravager. Interesting. Interesting variation. Oh my god. Void Ray almost gets caught out. Third base is on the way for StarDuck. And Oreo, oh my, he's going for a Hydra push. Oh my god. Hydrogen is on the way. I kind of like it, to be honest. I feel like this map lends itself to like these ground focused pushes, and going for Hydras like this, I feel like it could catch StarDuck off guard. To be fair, that's why it's so important that StarDuck got into the natural base and he saw the Baneling Nest. He knows that there isn't a Roach Warren, so he knows that he doesn't have to worry about that kind of pressure from Oreo, but he still needs to scout this Hydra Den. Adepts come in, nice, does clear out a lot of this creep, and he will be able to commit to the shade. Commits in, and he sees the Hydra Den. He knows. Good night for sure, it's good night. As the Adepts do get into the main base as well, just to confirm all of this scouting information. And what is the response here? So because because StarDuck is up against Hydras, I would assume going for some kind of splash damage is key here. He is going into charge lots. Charge lots help. Problem is, they're Banelings, so charge lots aren't ideal. Archons will be key here to defend against the Ling Bane, against the Hydras, I guess charge lots, but it's gonna take a while for StarDuck to tech up in that direction, and I feel like Oreo has finished droning. He's at 66, he's fully droned up on 3 bases. Is he really going to drone up this 4th? I feel like it's just gonna be for Larva. Like, the queens are already here. And the Hydras are being produced. A lot of queens, a lot of Hydras, a lot of Lings. All these upgrades are beautifully lined up here, so they're all about to finish up, and this is a nice timing for Oreo. Let's go. Queens are across the map. Banelings are being morphed in as well. The Void Rays do meet these queens, but they take a lot of damage. They're being forced back. Thankfully, the stack defense was already thrown down, so it is just about to finish up here for StarDuck. He's going to have Overcharge available as well, and bearing in mind, there are no Ravagers to deal with the stack defense. Oreo just has to kind of brute force his way through. Oh my god, the stasis is going to be huge! Oh, can he bait it out? It is baited out. Ay, 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 StarDuck. Oh god, that is not ideal. Oh, and Oreo decides to drone. Interesting choice. He saw the defensive position of StarDuck and he's like, nah, mate. Nah, I can't. I just can't push into that. It's just not gonna work. So, very respectable that he doesn't force the issue. I mean, sure, he pushes away the Void Rays, but he has no intention of committing into this position, and instead he's going for the Infestation Pit, going for the Lurker Den. He is teching up into Hydra, Lurker, Viper, which can definitely work here. Meanwhile, oh no, this is what won StarDuck game number 1. This is all that StarDuck needed in game 1, and that was the DTs. Is Oreo set up for this? Doesn't have any detection at home. Does have spores in the 3rd and in the natural, but not at the 4th. Banelings rush on in. Sure, they clear up some cannons. That's great, I guess. But these DTs, oh my god, 5 DTs warped in. Oreo, please, spot them, spot them! DTs come in, he does see them just barely in time. Detection is here at the same time DTs do hit the 4th base and the main. Oh god. I mean, thankfully the detection isn't too far away, so these DTs, they will be dealt with. They are cleaned up. This isn't as devastating as game number 1. God, this War Prism is so bold. As the DTs only got 7 drone kills and didn't kill that many Hydras, so Oreo this time is able to defend. Maybe I spoke too soon, as some Zealots get into the main. Unfortunately, Oreo doesn't have vision of this War Prism. And the Zealots are going to be a little bit annoying, but they will be dealt with. They're just buying StarDuck time, getting him some breathing room so that StarDuck can expand and take the gold, right? Oreo, his whole army was pulled back to deal with these Zealots, and that means that he wasn't here to deny the 4th. So StarDuck, he gets it up and running. He's on 4 base saturation, and now is the time to go into Sky Toss with that fleet beacon. Oh, Void Rays are looking to snipe a hatchery, and honestly, I think they will. Mate, oh god, Prismatic Alignment is just so good. He's gonna right click on the hatchery, and down it goes. Just like that, Oreo is down to 3 bases. Oof. Oof, mate. Oh no, he can get it again. And he can also recall. That's what's so powerful about this move. Oreo, he goes for the counter attack because he has to, but again, StarDuck, he can just recall whenever he feels threatened. And we should see it soon. Lurkers are here. There is the recall. Ooh, but he misses half of the Void Rays. Honestly, because of that, Oreo probably could have kept pushing forward. But there's no anti-air. I just realized there's 4 Hydras and that's kind of it. Ugh. Ready to push this away for now, but here come the queens. Hive is done. I'm a little bit surprised. Where are the Vipers? That's what I want to know. There are no Vipers at all here for Oreo, just Hydra Lurker Queen. And he's just forcing his way forward. Does he have enough DPS to take out these Void Rays? It doesn't look like it. It's going to be close. That shield battery putting in overtime with that overcharge. Carrier takes a lot of damage here. Oreo, he's trying to push forward. He has plenty of energy for transfuses. Where are they? Transfuse! Oh god, they're not there. And Oreo, there we go. Finally, we have those transfuses. But is it too late? Because that lurker count is getting lower and lower. He is pushing through the side defense of the 3rd base. Maybe, just maybe, it's going to be enough to break StarDuck. Oh god, here come the charge shots. Burrow, please, Burrow. He does, but the queens are going to go down. And Oreo can't push into the natural. He has to just take the 3rd. And just barely, it looks like he will. Finally, he cleans up all the shield batteries, all the cannons. And next up is the Nexus. Oh my god, they're rallying! The carriers! One goes down for free! StarDuck, please! Oh my god, these Hydras, I don't know if they should be here. Yeah. 5 Hydras get picked off for free there. I mean, at least Oreo was able to take down the base. That's pretty huge. Not just the base, but also all the workers at said base as well. And Oreo gets forced back. This is the stage where we need a transition though. We need either Vipers or Aspire for Corruptors. One or the other. Or both, ideally. And we have neither. Oreo is sticking with Hydras. And this is concerning. Especially because, like, he has decent upgrades. He has 2-1 upgrades for his Hydras. He has lurker range, I guess, but as the carrier count gets higher and higher, like, pure Hydra isn't going to do it for you. He's going for the Spore Forest, which is great, but again, like, do we have a hive? Like, mate, Vipers are so good. Speaking of things being good, War Prism comes in. Another Zealot run by, distracting Oreo. Unfortunately, Oreo doesn't have the creep spread to push these spores forward towards the edge of his base. Zealots will be cleaned up. But again, nothing but Hydras on the way. I'm not... Maybe Oreo's going to convince me, but at the moment, I'm not convinced. There we go. The first Viper is in production. Hopefully the first of many. Not too many, but the first of many. There we go, as more Vipers. There we go. The second Viper is being produced as well. Oreo just making sure, establishing his 5 bases. Could even go for a 6th at this point. There we go. 6th is on the way. And we'll see how Hydra Lurker Viper does here. It does feel a little bit outdated. I would love it if Oreo behind this did have a Spire and was already working on his upgrades. Obviously no Corruptors now, but maybe after the initial trade he can transition into Corruptors, especially because honestly there's not that many Void Rays. So Corruptors would be great. Here we go. StarDuck is pushing on forward. He is starting to work on this Spore Forest. Finally, the Hydras do respond. The Spores were able to buy a little bit of time, but ooh, the first Viper gets focused down. The second Viper, the Vipers, no! All 3 Vipers go down without using a single spell. Here comes the 4th Viper, but it doesn't have enough energy to do anything at the moment. And that was a pretty big loss for Oreo. At the same time, Zealot Rambai hits the 4th base. DTs hit the natural. Oh, there's no dissection. No, the Hydras are going down. God, at the same time, the carriers are trying to push them forward. To be fair, I guess there are enough Hydras to kill the Interceptors at the moment, so like they kind of hold their own. But oh god, the DTs are actually still alive, which is insane to think about. There we go. The Hydras clean up all the Interceptors. That's great and all, but Oreo has basically given up all of his bases. He's gonna be forced all in at this point. There we go. 4th base goes down. 5th base goes down. Oreo stuck to 3 bases. And GG gets called. StarDuck takes the series. I thought we were gonna see one last hurrah with Oreo's army, but no, he doesn't go for it. To be fair, it's hard to break a defensive Protoss, and GG gets called. StarDuck and his DTs win him the game and the series.